What's up, Shelf Addicts? Welcome back to the Shelf Addiction Podcast. Today on Book Chat, we are breaking down all of the 2022 fantasy series that we've read this year, and we're sharing our opinion on the best and the worst of it. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, I am your host, Tamara, and welcome back to the podcast. If you're new here, we're going to feed your shelf addiction with fun book conversations, bookish topics, and more. It's like listening in on your favorite book club. Participate in this discussion by joining the Facebook group Shelf Addiction Official or over on the Book Clubs app. I hope to hear your thoughts on today's show. You can also find me and Casey on Twitter and Instagram. The links for everything I've mentioned are below in the show notes. If you enjoyed today's episode, please support the podcast by sharing it with some book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe before you leave. That will really help me out, and I appreciate you for doing it. The uncut video version of this podcast is available right now over on Patreon. Join us there for exclusive videos, including after shows and more. So if you're interested in that at all, you'll need to come over onto Patreon and sign up. As always with Book Chats, we talk spoilers here, so you've been warned. Without further ado, let's begin. Joining me is the fantasy series co-host, Casey from Heartful of Ink. Welcome back, Casey.
Hi, I'm so happy and excited to be here, like always.
Of course.
I love these podcasts. Yes.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you love it.
I love it so much. I've been doing this for
torturing
5.5 years.
I know. I'm like, I wouldn't want to be torturing you. No. Good deal. Well, we're going to do something that might be a little bit torturous today, depending on how you look at it. Today, we are sharing our reading highs and lows, best and worst of our fantasy series. We're going to share a little bit about our challenges for the year. And of course, we're going to rank our series. And that's it. So we're just going to end of the year wrap up, right?
Yes.
And of course, we're going to also do the same for our thriller mystery buddy reads. So if you want to know what Classy and I thought of our buddy reads of this year, don't forget to check out that episode. So let's begin.
Yes.
Let's recap what we read this year.
For the fantasy series? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we finished up the J.R. Ward Fallen Angels series with Possession and Immortal back in January and February.
Mm-hmm.
Then we moved on to the YA series, Legend and Prodigy and Champion. Trilogy, not series. Excuse me. Do you want to take the next one?
Oh, so you left off with Prodigy. And then after that, the Legend series, we did, the Shifter series. Well, we attempted to. So we got, 3 books in?
Mm-hmm.
So yay. Okay,
and then
we did 3. And then we quit. And then we finished out the year with the Monsters of Verity series by V.E. Schwab, a.k.a. Victoria Schwab. So, so we got some interesting things in this year. We had a variety of things, I think.
Yes. It was
pretty good variety.
It was all over the place. We had angels, we had dystopia, we had bear cat shifters, we had monsters.
Yeah.
That's everything.
We had a lot. And maybe we should just say let's do our best and worst first. And then we'll rank the rest, because it wasn't like a whole lot, which was actually, may I just say, I kind of liked that we had shorter series and things this year because it gave us a chance to read more. Like, there have been years where we have spent virtually the whole year reading one thing.
Yes.
So this is different from our usual stuff because of that.
Mm-hmm. And it was fun. It did give us a good variety. Let us, finish a few series, explore some things that didn't work for us, and then we shifted gears and went to something not quite better, but better. But
yeah. And also because of that, I think I've been inspired, and you as well, because we talked about it before, to kind of continue finding shorter series. So going into
Duologies and
2023,
trilogies.
we're going to keep doing the duologies and the trilogies before we can't find any more that we're interested in. Just to keep it light and fun. Because, if you're kind of tired of something, you don't want to be committed to 6 books. Like, some things that we almost were committed to this year.
We were committed, but then we hard quit because we love ourselves and don't want to torture ourselves.
Yes, indeed. And not only that, the book club and others co-signed. We posted on social media, and people
we asked all of you.
Yes, and you guys said, quit it and move on.
I think it was almost unanimous.
Yes. Only one person said push through. Only one. In the book club, they were like, yeah, let's move on. They didn't want to continue either. So I felt extremely good about that and justified in that because, I didn't want to just be like, I'm being critical. Let's just quit. It felt good to hear others' point of view on it as well.
Yes.
So
because
that's our first time quitting.
We love all of our listeners. We want to have a read along with all of you. And if you're hating the series too, we will listen to you and we will quit.
Yes. And there have been other series, honestly, in the past where I used to be more rigid, right? I used to be like, we have to finish this. That is like the standard that I used to hold myself with. But recently, in the last year-ish or so, I've kind of been of the variety of life's too short to read bad books.
Yes.
And that has also motivated me to not be so hard about it on the podcast as well. Because, I like to finish what I start on the podcast.
Yes.
But sometimes it's just not possible.
Sometimes it's just not possible because these books are shitty. And, life is short. Don't read bad books. It's okay to put a book down if it's not working for you.
Yes. And while I'm sure you guys enjoy hearing us talk shit about books, does anyone want to listen to 6 episodes of that? So
not at all. No. The answer is no.
The answer is no. So I don't know. Should we go ahead and I'm sure you guys know what our worst was by this conversation.
It's the one we quit. Like, obviously.
Yeah. It's the one we quit. It's the Shifter series by Rachel Vincent. And surprisingly, like I said, when we started with book 1, and you guys on Patreon can see my ratings here. I think we both didn't really like it, but we were both kind of open to see what could happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't the best book, but it wasn't the worst book yet. And we were like, okay, but usually in series, the main character starts off in a bad place and then grows. And if Rachel Vincent had given us any sort of character growth, I think we would have been more receptive and happy with the series.
Yes.
But 3 solid books with 0 character growth. There was probably some regression in there. Like, no. We were hopeful.
It was too much.
The first book. We were hopeful. It did not meet any hope at all. It killed all of our hope and dreams.
Indeed. Because I always, with a series, I really try, unless it's just outright bad, I really try to give it that leniency to see what could be. But like you said, it crashed and burned. So honestly, we're lucky we gave it that 3rd book. I wanted to quit after book 2, but we said,
we'll try.
Let's just try one more. Yeah. And so that's that. So that is our worst fantasy series of the year.
Yes.
Shall we flip the script and talk about our favorite?
Is it J.R. Ward for you?
It is.
It's like I know you or something.
I know. It's so weird.
Only 5.5 years later.
I know. Honestly, though, I wasn't sure you would pick that. But when I started thinking about it, I'm like, no, Casey really liked that. She liked it.
I really liked J.R. Ward's series. There were some issues because she was 19 and he was 40, and I make weird faces when a 19-year-old girl is hooking up with a 40-year-old man. Like,
you would have seen that meme if you were a Shelf Addiction official. You would have seen the meme.
I made that face. But yes, she went to hell. She aged decades. She's fighting an immortal war. Fine, whatever. I'll let it go. But like 19 and 40, I'm giving everybody the stink eye.
Yeah, it's kind of that, you know, it's a little cringe, but you kind of give it a pass because of the things she's been through and her maturity level, right?
Yes.
You want to give it a pass. But that's not the norm.
No.
By any means.
But I really like this series. It was fun. It made me fall in love with J.R. Ward as an author all over again. Because I used to read the Black Dagger Brotherhood, and then I rage quit like 10 years ago, and I haven't read her since. And at some point, I'm going to go back, and Lasseter's finally going to get his book next year, and I want to read Lasseter's book. So
I know, me too. I have to catch up. I think I mentioned before, I think I'm 3 books behind. I'm
like 12 books behind.
Yeah.
Or
but
more.
I don't know. I do think that the Fallen Angel series is actually better than the Black Dagger Brotherhood series.
I'm going to say like the first 4 of the Black Dagger Brotherhood are really, really good from what I remember. And I think I like those more than the Fallen Angel, but like as an overall series, I think I like the Fallen Angels more.
Yeah, because the Fallen Angels has like the best freaking villain ever.
Yes.
We love to hate Davina. She is so wild. And let me just say, spoiler alert, skip 30 seconds if you're reading BDB, but you're behind. 30 seconds. And I've already told Casey, so she's spoiled.
Yes.
But so I think things are going to get extremely good again in BDB because Davina has made an entrance in that series.
This makes me want to come back and read more.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, that was one of my goals for this year. I haven't picked up another one of our books, but at some point I will.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, it was so good. I just remember we like really enjoyed every book. We liked Jim. We loved Adrian. Oh,
yes.
I know. It's like all the feels going on. Like
we did critique it again. Like there were some issues that we had, and we critiqued it because it wasn't perfect, but it was really damn good.
Eddie.
Oh my god!
I know they had like the most
those sweet boys.
Interesting. They had the most interesting friendship. Like
they were lovers.
They were lovers.
They were lovers. They were boyfriends.
They were best friends, and they were lovers. And but even though they weren't boyfriends,
I call them boyfriends. They were hot, bisexual, polyamorous boyfriends.
They were, and it's funny because I think they were kind of like in that trope of gay for you. I think they're gay for each other, but not like in general. Because Adrian would sleep with all the women, but when Eddie decided to like step in, it was all fun. So I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Like, oh, wait a minute. Friends are not doing what y'all doing. Which was fun. It was shocking. It was fun. It was like, I just loved it. I love that series. So I do recommend it. If you haven't read it, I recommend it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely recommended.
Okay, so we can go ahead and rate the rest then. What do you think fell into second spot for you?
Definitely the Legend trilogy by Marie Lu.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. We had some issues with it because, again, like they were really young. There were some insta love when you're 15 and 16 and like, oh my god, guys, you've known each other for 4 days, get over it. But it was wrapped up nicely in Rebel. I forgot we read Rebel, but Rebel was the 4th one.
We ended up going for the 4th one. There was a little jump ahead, and the story point of view changed in Rebel. It wasn't necessarily our main 2 characters. It was the younger brother who was the main character. So I think even though I clearly didn't rate the first two books the highest or the last book, I still think it falls second on my list. It was fine, quote unquote, right? It was fine.
It was
I did
good.
not,
Like it
I
was a
can't hate
decent,
on it
yeah.
like that. But it definitely, just from my rankings, is definitely a full on step down from J.R. Ward, like a full step down. Maybe a step and a half down, but it still came in second for the reads for the year.
Because we had some other really bad books. And so, like, I want to give kudos where kudos is due. Like, it was, excuse me, we liked enough to, one, finish the series. We liked it to, not give it like 2 stars. Like, there was good aspects of the series. And I think I said this on the podcast, but I don't know if I would recommend this series to adults, but I would absolutely recommend it to teenagers.
Yes, agreed. So like that 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, I think they would love it.
Oh, absolutely. And I would be like really happy to recommend this series to them. I'd be like, this is a good series. I think you'll really enjoy it. Like it's not the best and they're young readers, but they'll love it. And so, yeah. Give
definitely.
her kudos where kudos are due, because we have some shitty books coming up.
Oh, definitely. So on the spectrum, these were good books, and they're worth recommending. So kudos to that. So third place would obviously be our last book of the year, our last 2 books of the year, which were the Monsters of Verity books by Victoria Schwab. Even though I gave the first a 3 and the second a 2, I did not love them, but they were still better than the other because we finished them.
Yes. And to be fair, there were only 2 books, and if she had dragged this out for 6 books, I would have rage quit. But Victoria Schwab knew, like, nope, this is a duology. I have this story plan. This is everything that's happening. When it's done, it's done.
Yes. And of course, like we mentioned in that podcast, we both gave her props for doing something against the YA grain. She went against the grain with that ending. You know what I mean? Like, she gave us like a legitimate, real ending for those circumstances, which she gets absolute props for.
Absolutely, yes. And we had a lot of critiques. And I talked about how, if I turn my brain off and I don't think I can actually like enjoy this series, but if I ask any questions, it all falls apart. But like, again, I want to give her props for writing a good duology that ends in a unique way. And I guess I'm just keep comparing her to Rachel Vincent, because Rachel Vincent did not give us any character growth whatsoever, but V.E. Schwab did. These characters grew, they changed. We had critiques. We wanted things to be different. We didn't like some of the things she did, but she gave us character growth. She gave us an interesting world that had plot holes, but was different.
Absolutely. Yes. So she earned it. Third spot.
Third spot. Absolutely.
And we've already talked about last place, so we're not going to rehash that again. Like, no need.
She's last. It's done. We quit. Goodbye.
Yes. We're finished. Finito. So I think that's it for that. We do have a special bonus best. Should we save that for after the break? Should we take a quick break?
We can take a quick break.
All right, let's take a quick break, you guys. Check out these commercials. By listening to those, you're supporting the podcast. And don't forget to head on over to Amazon and pick up the book review journal available right now. When we come back, we will jump right on in to our bonus best series of the year. Stay with us. Today's episode is brought to you by the Shelf Addiction merch store. Check out all the bookish t-shirts, notebooks, mugs, and more. Don't miss out on these original designs, perfect for any book nerd. Support the podcast and visit shelfaddiction.com/merch and pick up your next favorite bookish item. All right, welcome back, guys. If you are on Patreon, you can see the bonus best right now. It's on the screen. They're in there with all the 5 stars that I've rated them, 5 and 4 stars. Casey, let's talk about our bonus best.
It's the Mercy Thompson series by Patricia Briggs, which we have been binge reading all 13 books.
Yes.
And
like
it is amazing.
This fall, this last quarter of the year, really, we've been hitting it hard.
Yeah, we're reading like one a week almost. We've taken a few breaks, but yeah, we are powering through them. And I'm also hitting the Alpha and Omega series at the same time.
Yes, you are doing like double duty because you're doing Mercy and Alpha and Omega. But we've gotten, I think our last one was book 10 in the reread portion.
Yes, Silence Fallen.
Yes. And then, so we have 3 more to go on a reread. We've already done 13 earlier this year.
But we're going to bonus do it again. Bonus. Extra double bonus.
Yeah, we're going to redo it because, and this is, it makes sense to me because we've been rereading all of these books. When we read 13, we had just only completed book 3 or 4, I think. Mm-hmm. So like a lot of stuff I had forgotten, right? So the feels that I think I would have gotten reading 13, I don't think I was effective in sharing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we're going to redo it as a part of the reread so we could get the full implications of the things that happened in book 13.
Yes. Yes. And it's Mercy and Adam, and I just want to reread them because I love them. And why not?
They're so good.
They're so good.
And, like, we're doing lives on these. You can come read with us on lives in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day. And if you can't do that on YouTube, just check out the podcast episodes that drop on Friday. So we've got a couple more this year. We're going to finish it this year. And eventually we'll do the Alpha and Omega series. I don't know when, but eventually we'll do them on the podcast because actually someone asked us to do them.
And they're great. And I will reread them all over again.
Yes. So I'm really excited for this. It really gave me a nice little boost at the end of the year that I feel like I needed.
Yes.
So, I love this series so much.
So good.
I think it's my second series of all time.
What's your first series?
The Vampire Huntress Legend series by L.A. Banks.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because that is what pulled me into vampires and good versus evil themes. And she did such a good job of, and you know, Briggs does a good job of having a colorful cast as well. But L.A. Banks had like all kind of people in her crew. You know what I mean? This is the first time I read vampires that like the evil vamp guy, he's Latin, Carlos, and Danita is black and she's got these braids. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the best. I love.
We might have to do like a bonus reading the first one of that at some point next year.
Yeah. The coupling in that section, and I did reread book 1 a while back. I want to say maybe it was last year. And I didn't realize how long it took for them to get together. I thought they would get together in book 1. I'm like, oh no, it's not book 1. But I still enjoyed it. I still enjoy book 1. So I'm like, it held up. So, so good.
Yay.
Look, actually, I think her name was, I said her name was wrong. Like, why did I have her name screwed up? My God. It's another D name. It is Damali. Damali. Yeah, so Damali is 22 years old when that series starts. And, you know, a lot of artist types, and, you know, they have like the matriarch of the group. They have like the old man of the group. He's not really old, but he's like the fatherly type character. You know, they have a really cool crew, and it really is the ultimate good versus evil. So, yeah, maybe we should do that one time.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
See how it goes. But yeah, I love those. So that's my number 1. Are these your number 1, or do you have a different number 1?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. There are so many books that I love. There's so many series that I love. Mercy might be number 1 for me. But also, like, I'm so engrossed in the Mercy world right now that I'm, having all of the feels and heart eyes for her.
Mm-hmm.
But she's worth it. Like, she's an amazing kick-ass character. There are other series that I love, like the Cat and Bone series by Janine Frost, but I don't think I love it as much. Like, they're good.
I know I don't.
They're
good.
They're good.
They're very good.
But
they're definitely second to Cat and Bones.
To Adam.
I'm sorry, to Adam and Mercy.
Yes.
Lord, I'm getting the couples confused.
I think I'm just gonna have to say Adam and Mercy are my number one series right now. Unless I can think of something later, but my brain is just like, no, Adam and Mercy. They're the best.
I feel like, that's my comfort zone. I
Absolutely.
know I can reread them and still enjoy them over and over again.
I've been reading them since I was in high school. I dressed up as Mercy 1 year in high school, and I can reread them now over a decade later and still absolutely love it.
They hold up.
Mm-hmm.
They really hold up. And and every time, and we've said this in some of at least one or two of the podcasts that we've done on the reread, like seeing them with fresh eyes after you've read newer books, you really see the connectivities and the work of the plotting that was done.
Yes.
That you definitely would have missed the first time through. Definitely.
Oh, yes. For sure. No, I remember the first time I was so torn between Sam and Adam, and I was like, oh, the love triangle. How could she ever choose? And now I'm like, oh, it's obviously Adam. Like, look at this. Look at this line. Look at these emotions here. It's obviously Adam, forever and always Adam.
I actually remember saying the first time we did the reread, and we had a third co-host, I remember saying to you guys, kind of bickering about it, like, why are you even thinking about Sam like that? He is not an option. Like, he is not even an option. Let's keep it real.
Yes. He's cute, but no, he's not an option compared to Adam.
No. He wish he was, but he wasn't. But it works out better in the end for him. Mm-hmm. It works out.
It does. It absolutely does.
Mm-hmm. So I'm happy about that. So yay for Mercy Thompson series. Our favorite. All right. So shall we talk about some goals?
Let's do it. What was your goal for this year?
Okay. So my Goodreads goal, let me go back home and take a look. I think I had set, so I changed my goal like in September. Mm-hmm. So I originally had set like 52 books for the year.
That's
what
goal.
It was. And then in September, I was right up against that goal, so I changed it. I was like, I knew I was within like 8 or 9 books of it. I'm like, I'm going to blow past it because we had started with Mercy, I think, by that time. So I changed it to 60. I upped it to 60. And I haven't changed it again because I'm like, what's the point if I'm going to keep moving the goal, right?
Yeah.
So I changed it to 60. And right now, today, as of the day we are recording, which is December 4th, I am at 69 books.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. This last quarter, I have been blowing through books this quarter.
That is amazing.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
What about you?
So my goal was 100 books that I'm not working on in the editorial business, like 100 books for fun. Currently, I am sitting at 79 books, but I do have a few that I have not finished yet, and we have 3 more Mercy books, plus a couple Alpha and Omega books. So I think I'm going to get really close. I don't know if I'm going to get quite to 100, but I think I'll be at like 90-ish. So I might look for like some short Christmas stories that are like 100 pages or less and try and read them just to, hit the 100. But
I was thinking about reading some Christmas stories, but every time I think of it, I just want to just gag a little bit. Like, usually I don't mind, seasonal reading, right? I do that. I do seasonal reading, holiday reading. But for some reason, the idea of a freaking Hallmark themed book right now makes me want to Earl.
I'm talking like the crazy Santa's fucking you book.
Mm-hmm.
not Hallmark, but like triple X.
Okay.
Stuff and be like, okay, yeah, let's get in the mood for this holiday season.
Okay, I mean, I might be okay with that, and I might be okay with Santa Claus stabbing someone to death too. So,
ooh, that would be a good story.
Either or, like serial killer Santa Claus. I mean, that's just been my vibe lately. I'm like, give me the vibe of the dark books. I don't know. That's ever since fall came, like I've been on that and it has not changed. So that's why I'm like, happy go lucky Christmas and sleighs and dogs. Like, no. Which is not very Christmassy, but
It doesn't have to be. Isn't there that new Christmas violent movie that's Santa Claus killing people?
What is it called? I need to find out. I might want to watch it.
Is it called The Violence or Violent Night or something?
Okay, I'm going to Google it.
Yeah, let's Google this because my brain is not.
Let's see if I can Google it right quick. So it's called horror. Let's just say it's a horror Christmas movie, right? 2020. It's new for this year, right?
Yeah, like it just came out.
Violent Night.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's with the guy from Stranger Things, isn't it? The father guy from Stranger Things. What's his name?
So David Harbour.
Yeah. Okay, I might try to watch that. Let's see. Oh yeah, this guy got blood all over him. It sounds like a good plan.
It just came out 2 days ago, and it's violent Christmas stuff. So enjoy.
Violent Night. Let's see if I can watch this. Where to watch, or if it's is it a movie theater only release?
I think it's at the movie theaters right now, but we'll stream soon.
Okay, because I'm not going to the theater to see this. I feel like it's going to be bad. You know how not all horror movies are the same. It's probably going to be bad. This is
one of those movies where you sit in your comfy clothes and drink and shout at the TV. Like, let's be real.
Yes. Exactly. So maybe I'll save that. And if it comes out somewhere else that I can watch it before Christmas, I'll watch it. But honestly, once Christmas is over, I am done with the holiday. I am like ready to move forward. The Christmas holidays does not linger on me like other holidays do. Maybe that's because I'm being forced Christmas down my throat from like the week before Thanksgiving all the way through New Year's.
You don't start November 1st, the day after Halloween?
Hell no. I am of the school of thought where I decorate for Christmas the first weekend in December. Or sometimes if I'm really in the mood, I'll decorate the Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving. So Black Friday that weekend. So this year I hosted Thanksgiving. So I decorated like one day before Thanksgiving because I wanted the tree up. I literally was doing the tree up into the like hours before people came.
Wow.
I was running around breaking a sweat trying to get this Christmas tree done. But I'm like, I wanted it to feel holiday. But this is the earliest I've ever put it up. Usually it's like I said, it's right after Thanksgiving or the first week in December. How about you?
Usually I wait until the day after my birthday, so today, because I'm like, let's deal with Thanksgiving. Hate Thanksgiving, but whatever. Then I have my birthday, then we're going to go into Christmas.
Yes, which is probably why you and I think similar about not putting that tree up so early, because we both have December birthdays.
Yes.
So we've got to get through our birthday before it's Christmas.
Exactly. We have to have the whole birthday celebration, screw the tree, give me birthday cake and presents.
Yes, exactly.
And then we'll do more cake and presents for Christmas.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's it. That's probably why, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I do love Christmas, though. I really do. I'm not like a Scrooge. I do love it, but not November 1st.
Yeah, no, not November 1st. You gotta give it some time. Each holiday needs its own month, and yeah.
All right, so we did our challenges. I'm trying to decide if I want to do any challenges next year.
I always say I'm going to do challenges and I'm all excited. And sometimes I get on the podcast and tell you guys exactly what I'm doing. And then by February, I've just forgotten. And then you ask me in December and I'm like, no,
What?
What
was that?
Challenge? I don't know.
That's kind of how I am. The only challenge I've kept up with year over year is just the Goodreads count challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, I used to try like a certain type of book challenge, a certain theme challenge. You know, I did like a bunch of them back in my early blogging days, but promptly I got tired of them.
Yeah, no, I'll start, but then I get tired, or I just can't find a book that fits, or I find a book that fits and it's just a bad book and I don't feel like reading it. And then I lose interest and then I forget about it. So yeah no.
And plus, I'm a mood reader. I just want to read what I want to read.
Exactly.
So when I'm tired of this type of book, I just want to pick up something else and not be beholden to rules I've set for myself. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So before we finish up, how did you do this year with book buying? I remember you were trying not to buy a bunch of books this year. How did you do?
I bought so many books. It's embarrassing.
Okay.
I forgot that challenge.
Okay. Yes, I do remember that.
Nope. I bought a shit ton of books.
Okay. Well, I also bought not a shit ton. I bought a few, and they were all been in the last quarter of the year. So I bought more Mercy Thompson books. Mm-hmm. I bought the Throne of Glass series this year.
Ooh.
What's another series? Oh, and leading into our housekeeping, I bought The Red Rising by Pierce Brown. That is being delivered today.
Yay!
Yeah, so they didn't sell the trilogy anymore. They only sold the set of 5, but I liked all the first 5. But to be clear, you guys, so in January, we are starting the Red Rising trilogy, the first 3. There is a clear end after the 3rd book, and then a pretty substantial time jump before the 4th book. So that is a good place for us to end as a group.
Yes.
And we're sticking with 3, but the set comes with 5. So
you can bonus read them if you want to, but it's not required.
If I want to. No, not required. Because, the writing style, the 4th book I enjoyed. The 5th book I feel was different. Something changed in the vibe of the 5th book, in my opinion. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. We'll get into it more as we continue on. But yeah, so I bought that because it was like 40% off on Amazon.
Damn.
So I got like 5 paperbacks in a set for $30.
That's amazing.
And these books are not little, you guys. These books are thick books. So let me just look up the size of Red Rising. The first book is, that's not bad, $382 in hardcover. The second book is $430. The third book is $524. They get bigger. Worth every word. This guy is a genius. And I challenge you to read this with us and come back and tell me I was wrong. Tell me I was right. Because, it takes a lot for me to put that kind of stamp of approval on something. Because when I actually restarted to see how the vibe would be, and I'm like, oh, stop now, because I could have kept going. I had to stop myself.
That's awesome.
So I was really excited. Yes. I'm really excited for it. So I'm like, now I can have the books and I can read them in my hand and post pictures on Instagram.
It's going to be
cute.
Yeah. It's going to be so cute.
We're going to pull this one out of the archives. It's kind of old. Actually, the series as a whole is not finished. It will be finished next year.
Wow.
I think next year or the year after. So books 6 and 6 comes out next year and 7 comes out after that. And 7th, according to Goodreads, is the final book. It's done.
Ooh, okay.
So we'll see how it goes. I may or may not continue after book 3, but we'll enjoy 3 books.
Yes. Awesome.
3 books of having a good time and not a whole bunch of trashing, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Let's cross our fingers that Casey likes it. Because we'll see.
I read a bit of the sample and it was really interesting. So like, I'm hooked. I'm interested. I don't hate it right off the bat. Like, I wasn't like, ooh, sentence 1, I'm done. No. Like, I was like, this is a good sample. I'm interested. This sounds like fun.
Awesome. And plus, to be honest, I don't think, and I might be wrong because I have not looked through every single series we've read, but I don't think we've read a series by a man.
I don't think so.
So this is going to be just a change of pace in general, right? It leans sci-fi. It has a different voice. One of the main narrators is a man. So it's just going to be a fresh new take on this, whole series rating. I think it will give us a nice little boost into 2023.
Yes.
So join us on Shelf Addiction Official or over on the Book Clubs app. The links are in the show notes. We want you to join us on this journey. It's going to be so
much fun.
Yes. And of course, don't forget, you guys, we are still doing the final 3 books of the Mercy Thompson series. So follow so you don't miss them, and maybe think about following on YouTube so you can read with us live during our reading sprints.
We have fun there. You guys should come hang out with us.
I know. You can bring your own book. You don't have to bring a Mercy Thompson book. Bring whatever you want to read.
You can bring work too. Like if you need help writing emails and like need a 25-minute sprint of just like focusing on your inbox, you can do that the whole time. And then, while we're sitting there talking about books, be like, yes, I deleted 500 emails. Woo! And we'll cheer you on.
Yes, we will cheer you too. It's awesome. Like a couple of people said they were working and doing things before. So yeah, totally. It's productivity sprints as well.
Yes, exactly.
All right. What do you think? Anything else more for today, Casey? You think we're finished?
I think we're finished. We'll have a fun bonus though. Bonus episode.
Yeah, we will have a bonus episode. Yes. Keep your eyes peeled for that too. So we've got a lot coming up on the podcast with the fantasy stuff. And it's going to be a good ride. And I guess that's it. We're done. We are done for today. Yay! You guys, if we don't speak to you again this year, hopefully we will in book club. But if not, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah. Happy
Kwanzaa. All the things. Happy holidays.
Happy birthday to everybody who has a birthday in December.
Yes.
That's both
December
of us.
Birthdays. Sagittariuses.
Birthdays.
Yes, absolutely. All the things, you guys. It's been a hell of a year. I look forward to next year. So we'll see you there. Take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
If you enjoyed today's episode and would like to show your support, there are a few things you can do. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a positive 5-star review, or like this episode on your favorite podcast player. It seems so simple, but it really helps me out. You can share this podcast with other book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. You can also join the Shelf Addiction Patreon family. For as little as $2 a month, you will help us produce even more awesome content for your ears. You can also consider joining the Shelf Addiction Official Facebook group, where we talk all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction Podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. You can also reach us via email at info@shelfaddiction.com. Thank you for listening.